Daniel Bryan is here. He's back in WWE, and he's back in the main event of Clash at the Castle. He helps Drew McIntyre fend off Jey Uso, who tries to screw McIntyre, and they brawl all the way to the back, although the assistance would be futile with a debuting Solo Sikoa screwing McIntyre out the win. And on the following SmackDown, we kick off the show with the leader of the Yes Movement himself in the ring, and he says, "Oh, it feels good to be back." And what would have made it all the better is if Drew McIntyre won the WWE and Universal Championships. But I suppose it just wasn't to be. I tried to help, but Solo Sikoa decided to debut and ruin the festivities, didn't he? And you know, I'm getting sick of the Bloodline running roughshod over this company. So Roman, come on out. Let's cut the head off the snake right now. Bryan lays down the challenge, but it isn't answered by the tribal chief as the wise man comes out to a chorus of boos as he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I am the wise man for the absent tribal chief, Roman Reigns." And even if Roman was in the building, what makes you think that you deserve to speak to the tribal chief? You have yet to even pin him in every single match you two have had together. Not even in a tag match could you pin the all-powerful Roman Reigns. But I'll throw you a bone, as on behalf of the tribal chief, he'd like to see if things have changed since your last singles contest. So at Extreme Rules, you will face the Enforcer, Solo Sikoa. And if by some miracle you beat him, you'll get a match with Roman Reigns. But just know, if you choose to accept this deal, your life as a performer, as a wrestler, and as a father becomes hell. Paul, if I can't get my hands on Reigns, then you're right. My life becomes a living hell, because I will not rest, I will not stop until I beat him and take away the power he holds over this company. And Heyman doesn't even respond to this, he just leaves. Bryan is confused, but the crowd isn't, as Solo Sikoa sneaks into the ring and completely blindsides the American Dragon. Sikoa is making an immediate statement to the WWE Universe that he's a vicious protector. He completely annihilates Bryan, he even puts him for the announcer's table. Bryan has been back for less than a week and he's already been taken out. And the following week, Bryan is irate, he's seeing red, he storms out of the ring, stands in the center and screams, "Solo! You think you could attack me from behind like a coward and get away with it? No. You don't get to do that. I'm not going to be a plucky underdog anymore because I'm Bryan Danielson, and I've been proclaimed as the best in the world, and you're going to get the best out of me because Solo, I accept the match for Extreme Rules." Bryan isn't messing around, the crowd still adore him even with a more serious attitude, and surprisingly the man comes out and says two words, "You're on." The match is made official, both men won it, and it's Solo's first test as an enforcer. So it's time for the special singles contest between the David of the match, Daniel Bryan, and the Goliath, Solo Sikoa. And Bryan is strong out the gate, he flat out fights Sikoa, but all it takes is one strike and Sikoa is in firm control. He's completely dominating Bryan. Everyone is shocked at the performance of the Bloodline's enforcer, but Bryan won't give up without a fight, as with a few well-timed shots to the side of the skull, Bryan gets an opening and he takes it. He gets Sikoa on the outside, and he even hits a running knee, which takes down the enforcer for the first time in the contest. But as he tries to get him up, Sikoa clocks Bryan with a knee, and Sikoa's domination continues. He even looks to put Bryan through the announcer's table again, but Bryan counters and he sends Sikoa through the announce table. Solo is in a precarious position. Bryan throws him in the ring and is looking to end the match with a running knee, but as he's running, Sikoa catches him and nails a Samoan spike. It's unbelievable. Solo Sikoa has just defeated Daniel Bryan. The crowd is stunned. Everyone is stunned, aside from the Bloodline, who stand tall over the corpse of the Yes Movement. So now Bryan has integrated himself into the Bloodline saga once more, although he isn't the main protagonist, as Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus all have their issues with the Bloodline. So at Crown Jewel, Bryan's core contribution to the story is taking out Solo Sikoa during Reigns' match with Logan Paul, and Bryan is next involved in War, as at War Games he is one of the side protagonists in the Bloodline story, as he alongside 3 other warriors compete against against the Bloodline, and it's a car wreck, although Bryan once again sits on the sidelines whilst the heartbreaking finish takes place. So on the SmackDown after Survivor Series, Bryan lets everyone know his thoughts on him being relegated to a side character as he says, "When I came back, I wanted to finish my story against Roman Reigns. Not to be a background character going into war. So at the Royal Rumble, I'll rebound after losing to Sikoa. I'll rebound from being an extra to the main lead. And then at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns, your stranglehold over this company dies along with your reign." It's stern words from Bryan. He's done with his career stagnating, but can he back up his words? Well, one man questions Bryan's integrity as the Intercontinental Champion Gunter comes out and confronts him as he says, "Bryan, whilst we all know how good you were in the ring, your performances have been below par recently. So I have a question for you. What are you going to do about it when the Ring General wins the Royal Rumble?" Well, firstly, that ain't gonna happen, sunshine. And secondly, like I just said, I'm not gonna sit back and allow other talent to shine because their time is up and my time is now. Quoting John Cena now, I see. How will he help you when he's off in Hollywood wasting his career away, throwing this great sport away? Because one thing I took after my match with him almost a decade ago is to hustle, to be loyal to my fans, and to have respect for my opponent, even if they're a piece of shit like you. It's a heated exchange between the pair, but can either of them emerge as the Royal Rumble winner? Well, at the show, Bryan has a near impossible task. He has to go from number 1 and win the Rumble. But who is number 2? Well, that would be the Ring General, Gunter. It was teased on SmackDown, and now they start the Rumble. The crowd are on their feet, and the bell rings, and the match is underway. Bryan and Gunter trade strikes with each other, but neither man will yield. And during large portions of the contest, both men are connected to each other. It's as if they're gonna last the full match. Both men try to eliminate each other, but neither can succeed, and eventually gets down to the final 4. It's between Daniel Bryan, Gunter, Cody Rhodes, and Solo Sikoa. And Bryan is teetering on elimination. Solo Sikoa tries to get him out, but it doesn't work. And Bryan has an opportunity and gets a small measure of revenge on the Bloodline as he hurls Solo over the top rope and eliminates him. Everyone is ecstatic, but the happiness soon turns into horror as Gunter grabs him and hurls him out. Daniel Bryan fails to win the Rumble. He was so close yet so far. He's absolutely deflated as he walks to the back. But he has one more chance as Cody Rhodes announces he will be only challenging for the WWE Championship, which makes Adam Pearce announce an Elimination Chamber No More Contenders match to face either Sami Zayn or Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the Universal Championship. And due to his performance in the Rumble, Bryan earns himself a qualifying match against none other than Shinsuke Nakamura. It's a dream match on free television, and it's an absolute classic. Both men show why they deserve to be in the match. Nakamura brings the strong style, and Bryan brings the technical wrestling, although in the end, it's the strike by Bryan that does the job as if a running knee. Bryan punches his ticket to the Elimination Chamber. It's his last shot to get at Roman Reigns. And at the Elimination Chamber, Bryan has to overcome Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, Karrion Kross, and AJ Styles. All 6 men have history with the Tribal Chief, but who will win? Well, McIntyre is on a rampage. He eliminates Rey Mysterio and Karrion Kross, but then AJ Styles cuts him off with a phenomenal forearm, and Styles clash combination to eliminate the Scottish Warrior. However, as soon as he does this, Bryan comes out of nowhere and blasts Styles with a running knee, and he's gone. We're down to 2. Who will win? Who will face Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, or Daniel Bryan? Well, they're going at it. Both men are desperate to get their hands on the Tribal Chief on the biggest stage. Owens even manages to hit a stunner, but that's not enough, and he's looking for a powerbomb, but Bryan gets out of it, and with one last running knee, Bryan punches his ticket to face Roman Reigns, who demolishes him after the match. So leading into the show of shows, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns' rivalry reaches a boiling point. Whilst Cody and Roman talk, there's no more words to be hashed out between the Yes Movement's leader and the Tribal Chief as they just fight. No one can separate them, and on the go-home show before WrestleMania 39, Roman Reigns stands tall over Daniel Bryan. And with two athletes close out WrestleMania 39 Night 1. Can Daniel Bryan finish his story? Can Roman keep his reign? Well, the match is underway and it's a very physical affair. Bryan is all business. He only cares about beating Reigns and becoming champion. He dived onto him at several points as well, but Reigns is still dominant. He smashes Bryan into the ground until he draws blood, but it doesn't matter how much blood Bryan has lost. He'll keep on fighting and even manages to connect with a running knee, but Paul Heyman distracts the referee, so Bryan goes for another, and as he's lining up his target, Solo Sikoa screws him out of the biggest win of his career. He gets Samoan spiked, Reigns hits a spear, and just like that, once again, Daniel Bryan fails to finish his story, unlike Cody Rhodes. And if you like this story, I think this might interest you.